name's Claire Baker and I'm a former clutterholic and borderline hoarder, and I've got an invitation for you to join me on a great big free online clutter clearing class that I'm doing on a subject that is crucial if you want to successfully clear your clutter like I did 20 years ago. Because if you've ever tried to clear your clutter, the single biggest challenge that most people face when they're trying to clear their clutter, the biggest reason that I've seen over the last 20 years of helping people to clear their clutter, the reason why most of them give up even trying because it causes so much stress and struggles for them, is overwhelm. Because we feel overwhelmed when we look at our clutter because of just how much there is. We feel overwhelmed by those feelings and emotions that flood back when we look at our clutter because we remember what's in there and those memories associated with our clutter. We feel overwhelmed by the thought of how long it's going to take to clear our clutter. We feel overwhelmed by the thought of how many decisions we're going to have to make on the things in our clutter. And worst of all, we feel overwhelmed by the memories of how we've struggled to clear it in the past. We remember the last time we tried to declutter and the fact that we gave up again. It's also overwhelming, and it's overwhelming just how many things in our clutter make us feel overwhelmed. And because we feel overwhelmed, we can't get motivated. And because we can't get motivated, we go off and we do something much more interesting and fun instead, otherwise known as procrastination. Overwhelm and a lack of motivation are the main reasons why we've given up so many times in the past. And it's the reason why when we do get a bit motivated and manage to overcome that initial feeling of overwhelm, that we put ourselves under huge pressure to get our clutter cleared as quickly as possible. Because we know, don't we, from our past experiences, that our motivation isn't going to last. So we need to make the most of the time that we have and that motivation while we have it to do as much as we can. And that's how we end up making the mistake of trying to find the quickest and easiest way to deal with our clutter. We decide to have a blitz. We're ruthless with our decision making. We move our clutter from corner to corner, room to room. We reorganize it. We store it. So at least it looks a little better. At least that's what I did when I was clearing my clutter 20 years ago. My overwhelm often meant actually that I didn't even get started with trying to deal with my clutter. Because we find ourselves in a race, don't we? We're in a race against the clock to get it done as quickly as possible before we feel overwhelmed, before we lose our motivation, and before we give up again. And it's because we feel overwhelmed, it's because we can't get motivated, and it's because we know that we're likely to give up quite quickly, that we're all looking for that magic wand that's going to enable us to clear our clutter quickly and easily. I spent 4 years looking for that magic wand before I finally cleared my clutter 20 years ago. I never found that magic wand. Haven't found it since either. When our attempts to deal with our clutter don't result in us being able to see or feel a difference fast enough, we start to think, well, why bother? When others expect us to be able to decide what to do with the things in our clutter quickly and easily, that just makes us feel under even more pressure to do it fast. We get frustrated. We feel the resistance to even trying. And the problem is we're all trying to clear our clutter without understanding that we have a motivational wave. And if we don't understand and learn how to ride that motivational wave, we're never going to be able to overcome that overwhelm and get and stay motivated long enough to successfully clear all of our clutter forever. So it's going to be pretty important to understand our motivational wave, to understand why we ended up in a cycle of trying to declutter, giving up, procrastinating. And it's going to be pretty important to learn how to ride our motivational wave. When you understand your motivational wave and how to ride it, you'll realize that you're not lazy, you're not useless, you're not helpless. There are very good reasons why we procrastinate and put off trying again. And you'll understand those reasons when you understand your motivational wave. When you understand your motivational wave and how to ride it, you'll be able to get through those bad days and tough weeks when you feel like giving up. We've all had those bad days and tough weeks, and we need to be able to get through those. I had lots of them when I was clearing my own clutter 20 years ago. And the funny thing is that those decluttering experts that you see on the TV programs and those decluttering books that you almost certainly got, those people don't understand about the motivational wave. So by joining my big free clutter clearing class, you'll know more than those experts that you see on the telly. Because of course they give the impression that if you just get started, or if you have someone standing over you while you're trying to declutter, telling you what you should and shouldn't keep, they give the impression that you'll be so motivated that you're going to want to keep going until it's all done. And you and I both know from bitter experience that that's simply not true, is it? If it was that simple, you wouldn't be watching this, and I wouldn't be doing my big free clutter clearing class on the subject of motivation. Anyway, overcoming the overwhelm and getting motivated, and more importantly, staying motivated through those bad days and tough weeks that we're all going to have as we clear our clutter. That's why I'm doing my big free clutter clearing class that you can access and join from anywhere in the world on any device. And in that class, I'm going to show you specifically what your motivational wave is, how overwhelm is linked to your motivational wave, and how to stop your cycle of giving up or not even starting. Plus, I'm going to share with you one of the quickest and easiest ways to start riding your motivational wave so that you can get through the bad days and the tough weeks without giving up this time. So this is going to require you to put down the clutter and take a step back. Then just join me on my clutter clearing class. Because motivation is like the preparation before you do the doing. It's about recognizing that real life means that you're not going to be highly motivated all of the time, whilst also acknowledging that there are things that we can do to make sure that this time we don't give up. How can we make sure we don't give up this time? I'll explain all in my free clutter clearing class. I'm going to share with you the motivational wave, and I'm going to share with you one of the easiest and quickest things that you can do to get and stay motivated long enough to start successfully clearing your clutter. None of this is covered in the TV programs or decluttering books, but when you know and understand your motivational wave and how to ride it, that I'm going to share with you in the class, you'll be able to get through all of the bad days and tough weeks that you'll have while clearing your clutter. And crucially, you'll know how to get started and ensure that this time you don't give up. So simply book your free place by clicking on the link that's with this video, and I'll see you on my free clutter clearing class, and I'll share with you the secrets of your motivational wave. I'll see you soon.